I'm not a car club bloke. I don't work on it myself, but I do have a great mechanic. One day, I might even get that HQ. When it comes to insurance, it's got to be Shannon's.
Shannon shares your passion. Call Shannon's on 13 46 46. Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts.
Have you noticed it's a lot easier to say things over lunch? Like, I Google myself, or I love your hair. No, really, seriously, babe. But why is it easier? I mean, it's not like you're eating truth serum. Or are you? KFC's new nacho box. Delicious popcorn chicken, tasty cheese and salsa on top of crunchy corn chips. Try it for just $3.95.
Melbourne is famous for many things. Its diverse cultures, fashion and live entertainment. Its tight laneways, street art and its obsession with sport. Welcome to Melbourne, where power meets glory. The 2014 Formula One Australian Grand Prix, March 13 to 16. Sunday tickets from $99. Book now at grandprix.com.au.
At Scholl, we believe you deserve beautiful feet every day. And now you can. With Scholl's Velvet Smooth Express Pedi, giving you that salon smoothness between visits. Its microlumina roller effortlessly removes hard skin, leaving your feet soft and smooth. Do more for your feet. Stand up for them with Scholl.
Harvey Norman Super Saturday. One day only. Heroic savings store-wide. Up to 50% off lounges, dining, outdoor, home office and occasionals. Up to 50% off mattresses, ensembles and Manchester. Up to 30% off rugs, timber and laminate. Up to 15% off end-of-range TVs. Spend $200 or more on home appliances in store. Get 10% of your purchase price back as a gift card. Surface 64-gig tablet with Office 2013 RT included. Now $397. More in store and online. Harvey Norman Super Saturday. Go!
The changes made to Formula One cars from last year to this amount to the biggest revolution in Formula One technology for 20 years. The cars not only look different, they are very different under the skin as well. So let's take a closer look. The biggest change for 2014 is in the engine bay. In fact, we don't call them engines anymore. They're now called powertrains. That's because it's not just the engine, it's the energy recovery system too. And you're only allowed to use 5 powertrains per driver in a 19-race season. The combustion engine at the heart of the powertrain is all new. It's a 1.6-litre V6 hybrid turbo, replacing the 2.4-litre V8 engine of last year. The power is about the same, 780 horsepower, but only about 650 of that comes from the combustion engine. The other 130 horsepower comes from the energy recovery system, which uses 2 motors to harness energy from the turbo and from braking, and stores it as electricity in large batteries. These are packaged at the bottom of the car, below the fuel tanks. The motor generator that takes the braking energy is also down in the floor, while there's a separate motor generator next to the turbo at the top of the engine. The energy recovery system feeds 130 horsepower back into the engine for 30 seconds. That's about a third of a lap of Albert Park.
It's a complicated matter trying to find out and understand these changes to the cars. Hopefully it's becoming a little bit clearer as we head towards the big race on Sunday. Of course, the Formula One Grand Prix, live and exclusive to Network 10. Let's go to the paddock now. James Allen is speaking to one of the greats of Formula One.
So I'm down here in the Red Bull hospitality area with the 1996 Formula One World Champion, Damon Hill, and Australia's always been good to you.
It certainly has, yeah. I was lucky enough to win the first race here in Melbourne after it had been reinstated since 1956, but it was, the track's actually one of the few tracks that's not changed over that whole period.
Now listen, you're one of the guys, we talk a lot over the course of a season. Obviously you're working now with Sky Sports in the UK as an analyst, but I always admire you because you're a deep thinker about this sport. You know, you stand back and you look at it and you consider it. I mean, it's very quiet here, isn't it? The cars aren't making much noise. I wonder if the crowd are a little bit underwhelmed by it, but what's your take on this new technology?
Damon,
well, I think what is your take? Something which is it's a challenge in the most enormous way for the teams, and it's incredible that Formula One, the engineers and Formula One teams can actually pull it off. It's amazing the cars actually run at all.
With no testing.
I mean, if you look at them, you can't see where everything is coming from. But you know, it's a sport. At the end of the day, it is a sport, and it's got to provide entertainment. So we're sitting here now, and what would normally be a moment when I'd have to raise my voice because the car goes over the line.
Murray Walker!
I can watch you going past us, but it's
Where's Murray?
Might be a tennis match or a cricket game.
I mean, you know, maybe that's part of the new look for the future. Is that Formula One is going to be sort of more friendly on the ear, but it's a lovely sound. But it's not. It's such a change. Everything's changed, really. I mean, but the cars are still quick.
Great to see you, Damon. Have a great day.
Okay.
Great to hear the thoughts of Damon Hill. Okay, Sergio Perez is certainly one of the more gifted F1 drivers in the paddock. However, the 2014 season will see Perez at his third team in 3 years after spending only one season with Mercedes McLaren after the team decided to replace him at the end of the 2013 season with Danish driver Kevin Magnussen. Darrell Beatty caught up with the Mexican wonder kid to see if Force India might be a place he can call home.
Sergio, always a huge amount of speculation before the start of the Formula One season, but change of teams for you personally. How has the start of the season been?
Yeah, it's been a bit difficult, but for any team has been difficult because of the change of regulations. To get on top of things has been a challenge, but I think as a team we've done a good job on that. So looking forward to start the season and hopefully have a successful one.
Seems like from what we know, as I said, speculation, but the Mercedes power plant has been positive through the winter tests.
Yeah, so far looks very strong. I would say the strongest package right now, but things can change very quickly in Formula One. So let's wait and see where we are to start with, and I think we can do a good job and we can fight for a good position, especially in the beginning of the season. I think it's important for us as a team that we maximize our potential on the first races.
Strategy's a massive part, obviously, with fuel this year and Melbourne being a high fuel flow circuit. How different is the strategy, meetings and planning this season to last?
Yeah, it's not an easy one. It's hard. I think we will have a lot to learn, a lot to go through during this weekend, so that we can start in the best possible shape.
As a viewer and people at home that watch Formula One all the time, how different will a qualifying lap time be to a race lap time?
I think we're going to be, in qualifying compared to last year, we're going to be around 2 seconds, I think, slower. And the race, I think we're going to be quite a bit slower than last year, maybe. Let's wait and see. But I think the pure pace is a bit slower than the past. It's very obvious. It's very easy to feel that we have less grip on the car. And yeah, it's a big challenge for the drivers.
Congratulations, and we hope 2014 is a good year for you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
He's a motivated man, Sergio Perez. Not too long to go, under an hour and a half to the second Formula One practice session, but now it's time for something that certainly generates plenty of interest for fans of any car, really. The ultimate speed comparison involving some truly big stars of the motor racing world, and some of the best cars will go now to Greg Murphy, Angela Bishop, and for the first time today, Richard Craill to call the action and maybe explain a little more.
Thanks, Mel. We get asked a lot just how fast are Formula One cars. So the ultimate way to tell people is show them one-on-one and let's see what happens against a V8 supercar, one of the fastest cars in Australian motorsport and one of the fastest road cars you can buy going around. In this case, a Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG. Ange Bishop and Greg Murphy are alongside me to walk our way through this, and this has been a staple of the Grand Prix, guys, for a couple of years now. It's always exciting, and Murph, from a driver's perspective, there's no better way to show the massive performance differential from road car to V8 and then from V8 to Formula One car.
You know, it's a really great way to do it. I always enjoy it, being involved in it previously, but, you know, watching how it all pans out. And, you know, The idea of this is obviously to try and get these cars to cross the start-finish line at the same time at the end of their lap. Mick Doohan there in the C63. Everyone knows who he is, don't they?
I think they might know that he's five-time MotoGP world champ.
Absolutely.
I was lucky enough to be in that car with Mick going around the track a couple of times earlier in the week, and I have to say, it felt good. Felt really good.
Sounds good, doesn't it? 500-odd horsepower out of the Big Merc, and we'll get some great pictures on board Mighty Mick. So, guys, this runs on a handicap system. So Mick Doohan goes first in the PMG 663 Road Cup, the slowest car of the three. Slow is a relative term, though, Murph. This will do 0 to 100 in about 4 seconds. Top speed in excess of 280 kilometres an hour. And knowing Mick Doohan like we do, you can guarantee he will use every single one of those horsepower in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of all sorts of tech, high-tech mods and safety things. I'm sure he's got all that switched off and we'll be pedaling this thing as fast as we can. But it's a road car, so, you know, it's on road tyres, on road suspension. It's not a race car. Then we go to the V8 supercar. Obviously, we know all about those. You know, it's a highly tuned machine, specifically built chassis, got all the race gear in it, but it's big, it's heavy. It's got 660 horse, but it's also 1,400-odd kilos, so quite different. But performance-wise, there's a big gap. Then we go to an F1 car, the ultimate of racing cars, absolute ultimate of racing cars. And this one is, you know, one with a V8 engine in it, one that makes a lot of noise, with David Coulthard behind the wheel. And it's light. It's got 800 and something odd horsepower. Its power to weight ratio is off the planet, and it's designed to go very, very fast.
Now, of course, Australia is the only place, the Australian Grand Prix is the only place this ultimate speed comparison takes place in Grand Prix around the world. And it is an absolute classic Australian thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I love the idea of just seeing how fast the various cars go. As we take a look at the V8 supercar, and it looks like Stephen Richards behind the wheel, the Bathurst champion. He races Carrera Cup full-time. We'll see him across the course of the weekend in Carrera Cup with a couple of races coming your way on Saturday and Sunday. But he was probably the signing of the off-season Murph in Enduro driver role to slide in alongside Craig Lance in this year's season of endurance.
Oh,
he's a good guy to have.
Well, a bit of a shock. I mean, obviously with FPR, won Bathurst with
Get the
Mark
script when you get him over.
You know, his third Bathurst win. Fortunately for me, I teamed up with Steve a long time ago and won Bathurst, and this was his third win that he had there. And then next minute he's away from FPR and he's joining, you know,
Holden.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. He's been back and forth. He was the first guy to win Bathurst in a Holden
back-to-back.
Yeah,
Back to back.
Yeah, great history. So too this guy, Edge, two-time winner of the Formula One Australian Grand Prix. His last of his 13 Grand Prix victories came at this place in 2003. We're talking about the Scottish ace, David Coulthard.
I was commenting earlier, it seems he's get to spend just as much time in a Formula One car this weekend as he was in the main race. He's been taking people out for a spin in the two-seater. He's lucky enough to go for a spin in that, and then he gets to do this ultimate speed comparison, and he gets to do it in one of the old cars.
I thought he had good jobs, but he has got the best job.
And we should say, this is one of the most successful Formula One cars ever made in the history of the sport. Red Bull RB7 was an unbelievable thing. It took Sebastian Vettel to a world championship. He won 11 races in the 2011 season. One win for Aussie Mark Webber at Brazil, that final dramatic race of the year that he finally broke through that season. But this is back to the old school Formula One days compared to what we've just seen.
Old school as in 2013.
Correct, yeah.
Way back when.
2.4 litre V8, 18,000 RPM, about 750 brake horsepower. And DC just loves driving these things. So, as we mentioned, this is a handicap situation, and they went out for practice and they had one speed comparo yesterday afternoon. It was won by David Coulthard, but the V8 supercar and the Mercedes crossed the line, split by a tenth of a second. The F1 car was about 1.5 up the road. So Coulthard will get a little bit more of a handicap for this one.
He's going to get novel for this one, isn't he?
He will, absolutely. Talk about parity. That's the ultimate parity.
Interestingly, at last year's ultimate speed comparison, Mick Doohan took it out in the road car, in the Mercedes.
He was extremely happy about that.
I noticed.
Competitive racing drivers, like the one sitting in the commentary box with us,
Mr. Murphy, yes.
Yeah, anything you guys do, you've got to win.
Well, what's the point otherwise?
Exactly right.
What is the point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why the stakes are high. It might look like a demonstration, but this is absolutely serious. So lap times already in the first one as Mick Doohan sets off. So Mick, we're looking somewhere around 2:25 for his lap from a standing start. The V8 Supercar yesterday afternoon, I should say, 2 minutes and 2.